What is up, beautiful people of the internet? Today we are reacting to TierZoo's top 5 worst animal designs. I am so hyped for this. One of the best things is that even if they are the worst designs, these builds have been able to survive. So somehow they have found some jank way to just stumble and limp their way through nature. So I am so excited for this. Usually I feel like the focus is all on like, oh, what's the best build? What's the best build in the different tier lists we've watched? So I'm just so pumped. That being said, guys, subscribe down below for more reactions. And we've done a few other TierZoo's. So if after this one, if you want to check them out, please do that on the channel. Let's just go. Oh, damn, I missed it.
Now, there are a lot of choices you have to make when spending your evolution points. Adapting in the right ways can really take your gameplay to the next level.
Whoa.
But speccing into the wrong abilities and stats...
Why did this guy, he stood up and he looked like a bodybuilder. He stood up and he looked like every like comic that shows a bully on the beach picking on a skinny kid from the 50s. This is the bully. He did not skip chest day. He skipped arm day, but damn, his pectorals are looking phenomenal.
Level. But specking
His
into
V
the wrong
taper was
abilities
on
and
point.
stat combos can actually end up reducing your build's viability.
Chlamydia.
There are a lot of traps players can fall into when choosing which perks they want. So today I want to talk about the 5 most common pitfalls that I see in the builds of today's metagame.
Oh. Unsustainable mobility?
Mobility is a costly stat. Movement costs energy, and careless overuse of it can drain your stamina to a dangerous level. If you're
That lion was me. That lion that was just like, boom, out of energy, me. 100% me, but with none of the payoffs of the massive athleticism and killing power, you know? It's just stamina bar, brump, empty, so fast, nap time, let's go.
Stamina gets low, your HP will start to go down too.
Really?
So inefficiency can pretty quickly
Duh.
lead to a game over. For example, the hummingbird needs to find an energy source every 10 minutes or it's game over.
Really?
Being able to hover in place and having full 360-degree motion costs a lot energetically speaking. So it's super easy for them to burn through their stamina and eat into their HP reserves.
10 minutes? Guys, 10 minutes? I take poops longer than 10 minutes. I would be so dead. I would just be sitting on the... I take poops that are like... If I was a hummingbird, I would just die every time I had to have a bowel movement.
The same can be said about shrews, which have to eat up to 2 times their own body weight per day just to not burn out.
See, that one is
Cheetahs
a
experience
superpower
this
I
issue
would
to
love.
some extent too. Their top speed outclasses all other land builds, but this ability has an extremely long cooldown because when it's used, it burns through a ton of stamina. It generates a lot of body heat, and since
They're
cats
beautiful.
can't sweat, this heat cannot be dissipated on the move like it can in humans, for example.
I hate how trash cheetahs are. I love cheetahs. I hate how trash they are on the build tier.
Personally, I think this style of gameplay is extremely risky. It's high risk, high reward though, since obviously all 3 of these builds offer pretty unique advantages. Hummingbirds have
cool.
agility that can match that of the dragonfly. Cheetahs have record-breaking speed, and shrews have a venomous bite.
They do? What? We need a shrew to breakdown video. I didn't realize shrews were so super powered.
So, tool use is one of the most broken abilities in the game. Among other things, tool use allowed humans to ascend to top tier and dominate the meta. Other builds can use tools too, and can mitigate the shortcomings of their stats and abilities. Chimpanzees can't dig particularly well, but they can still access termites by using tools, and can do so because they've specced into hands instead of paws or hooves. Cephalopods have horribly low defensive stats, but they can still block attacks using tools. They can do this because they not only have the intelligence required,
They're
but
so
also
smart.
because they have
Octopuses
suction
are
cups
so
that can
cool.
grab items instead of just having fins. But there are a lot of builds that have the intelligence required to use tools, but can't due to a lack of dexterity. Builds like dogs, dolphins, and pigs all fit that description. Now obviously all of those builds are anything but low tier, but I do think it's their biggest shortcoming.
Pigs are so smart, guys. It's kind of ridiculous. I feel so bad for pigs. They're so intelligent. They're so intelligent.
One of the biggest pitfalls I see struggling players fall into
Oh!
after they get bodied
Whoa!
on the server several times, instead of continuing to evolve and trying to come up with a counter
Is that
strategy to
okay?
whatever's defeating them, they'll instead invest
What the hell? We need to watch this again. Did they throw a raccoon into a bear's cage? Okay.
One of the biggest pitfalls I
Monkey
see
grabs raccoon,
struggling
hucks
players
it.
fall into is that after they
Boom.
get bodied in the server several times, instead of continuing to evolve and trying to
go
come up with a counter strategy to whatever's defeating
Is that a bear? Or a monkey?
them, they'll instead invest some points into nocturnal abilities and avoid the issue entirely. That sounds like a smart play, but all you're doing is nerfing your own character, wasting precious evolution points and playing on easy mode. In most servers, the day lasts longer than the night, so daytime players have much more time to gain experience. Notice how prosimians are always nocturnal, except on Madagascar where they don't have to contend with apes and monkeys. Notice how bats are nocturnal, except the ones that have spec'd into a bulky enough build that they don't have to worry about hawks and eagles as much.
There are bats big enough to fight hawks and eagles? Are you kidding me? There are bats? Are you sure that's not just like Dracula transformed? That is a huge ass bat. Eagles are enormous. Eagles can pick up like donkeys. And there's bats big enough to fight those? That is terrifying. What continent are they on so I can never set foot on that ever?
More and more players are making this mistake because of human activity during the daytime, and it's severely hampering their ability to improve and overcome the increasingly challenging human matchup.
Tooth regeneration? That's a bad thing?
This next one is a two-parter having to do with teeth and tooth regeneration. Teeth are one of the most common weapons in the game, and there are a lot of special
Those horse teeth are terrifying. That horse tooth? Yowza.
perks teeth can have. Hypodermic needle teeth are perfect for dealing venom damage. Serrated teeth deal bonus bleed damage.
Ugh.
Pointy teeth make it harder for the target to escape a grab combo.
Pointy
Large
teeth.
teeth give you a passive intimidation bonus and can work as a disjointed hitbox. The list goes on. But for players that use teeth as a main part of their game plan, the ability to regenerate teeth can be critical. The first mistake I see players make is having brittle teeth without speccing into the tooth regeneration perk. Without this ability, breaking a tooth can be a game ender for builds like lions or wolves.
Aww.
So if you rely on teeth as your main source of damage, be sure to choose the regeneration perk as one of your abilities, to ensure you don't incur a devastating damage debuff by breaking your teeth. Look at sharks and crocodiles for examples of top tier builds that constantly replace their teeth. Okay, but on the other end of the spectrum, if you're playing a non-DPS build, I really don't recommend having too good a tooth regeneration ability. It might seem like something that you'd always want just in case, but many players end up running into the opposite problem. They don't use their teeth enough and
Whoa, what the heck? What the hell? That is gonna take its own eye out. What the actual heck? Dude! What? This is gonna give me nightmares. Like, there are nightmares about losing teeth. I've never had those, but I feel like I'll get nightmares about my teeth just growing out of control. Now, this is so horrifying.
actually end up taking damage when their teeth grow too long. Many warthog, rodent, and rabbit mains lose the game because their teeth weren't used enough to keep them from growing out. So the point here is, if you're a DPS player, tooth regen is a great perk. If you're a non-DPS
That is
player,
disgusting.
you may want to think twice and make sure you really need it before choosing this perk. The techniques
Guys,
that
I
a high
can't handle
intelligence
this.
stat grants you access to are the most broken techniques in the entire game. But they require time to master, and are also best learned by having another player use the teach skill. If your build has a short lifespan, it's very difficult to gain the experience required to perfect these techniques. Builds like the crow and octopus, although just as smart as parrots and elephants,
Crows
can
are
never
so
hope
smart.
to achieve the same level of knowledge and wisdom. The reverse is true too.
I don't know why. It's just hilarious to me to think of parrots as possessing great wisdom. Because whenever I think of parrots, I just think of parrots who like learn bad words and then heckle their owners. I'm like, yes, wisdom. They've accumulated so many curse words and heckling phrases over the long eons they've existed.
A build with an extremely long lifespan but low intelligence is being equally wasteful of their
Turtle.
potential. Thanks again for watching,
Hey.
and thanks especially to my Patreon.
Oh, that. It's a compliment. This is such a big compliment to pay a creator. I always am disappointed when TierZoo's videos end because I'm so into it and enjoying it, and I could watch like an hour of his content. Such good content. I was like, oh, we're over? We can't talk about animals for like 30 more hours? That being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Those teeth are gonna haunt me. Like, no joke. Those teeth on the rats and the warthog were terrifying. That being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have not spec'd into the wrong classes. I don't think we have. I don't think we have. We're humans, right? We're doing good. That being said, subscribe down below for more reactions. And don't forget, I've done other TierZoo reactions, so if you want to check those out, they are on the channel. I hope you guys have a beautiful, beautiful day. Take care of yourself. I'm Wesley, and I'm